Okay, hey Miss Johansson, I'm going to try to make this real simple for you since I'm not here. So, anybody in your class that doesn't have a folder yet, you're going to need to have them fill out these papers for you. I would do it in class. I talked to Miss Fortner, and she said that would probably be the best thing is give every one of them that doesn't have a folder, has not done this paperwork, and have them do it in class. So I'm going to go over each sheet with you. So this is the very first sheet. Everything in yellow should be completed by the inmate. This little section right here is goals for the inmate. I would not have them fill that in on this section. I would have them write it on a separate page with their name and DC number so you can match it up to this, and then you write it in, that way it's legible. Anything that's in blue, you're responsible for doing, okay? Anything in pink is for the title. If it's a Title I inmate, this is for the Title I people to handle, okay? This page will go on tab 1 in the folder. Behind this will go a copy of their latest TABE report. So it'll be this form and then a copy of their latest TABE report right behind it on tab 1 in the folder. Tab 2 of the folder will have this, which is their standards. And by the way, all these forms are already copied, and they're on that table in your room. Okay, so nothing needs to be completed on this until they actually master this. But this goes on tab 2 in the folder. Tab number 3 has a couple things. So the first thing that will be on tab number 3 will be the expectation sheet, which I made copies of for you. Then there is this form. The student is to complete the yellow part. You are to complete the blue part. And it goes behind the expectation sheet. This page, the yellow, is to be completed by the student. The blue is to completed by you. It goes behind that first form. And then, as you know, there will be 2 of these. So the student completes this part with this information. They don't complete anything here. They complete these 3 questions with the social security number. They only need the last 4 digits. If they don't feel comfortable giving that information, they don't have to give that at all. But they must complete the other 2 parts. And then they sign DC number and date. Nothing is completed here. That is for us. The second one, which I know you already have copies of, is for the Department of Education. Same thing. They don't complete anything here. They complete the stuff in the yellow and nothing completed here. Okay, all of that goes behind tab 3. Tab 4, and I made copies of this for you as well, will have the reentry and employment form. You don't have to put anything on there yet. I will do that when I come back. It will have a copy of the skills sheet that, and I can't remember if I made copies of this or not. If I didn't, don't worry about this because it's a different skill sheet than what you have up front. Okay? And then the career cruiser, it's a long one, but I'm going to go through it with you. This is to be all completed by the student. The whole thing is completed by the student. You can help them if they need help, but the whole thing is completed by them. A lot of it is just reading until you get to the page marked page 2. this is where they start their activity. This is the chart that they'll go by, and they'll answer each one of these questions and the questions on page 3 using that number 1 through 5 chart. Okay? The little gray space at the bottom of each question, I'm not sure if you can see that well. They're going to take these 5 numbers and they're going to total them up and put them right there. So it's totally up to you if you want to help them do that or let them do that themselves, because on the next page, it's going to tell them to go through those 17 questions, and the 3 that have the top number has the most. They're going to list the top 3 right here. The student will do that. And there's directions here for that. Page 5, they're going to answer these questions, and then it tells them of all the ones that they answered 3 to, they're going to pick the 5 most important of those 3, and they're going to list those there. Page 6 is about their personality. So they're going to complete section 1. Okay. And then whichever one they have the most check marks on will be what they check right here. It's going to tell them if they're an introvert or an extrovert. Same thing on number 2. They're going to check the ones that apply to them. And then on the very next page, they will take the ones that is the most, and they'll mark 1 or 2 of these boxes. Same thing for 3, same thing for 4. Then at this section, they're going to take whatever letter they answered here, 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 and on number 1, and they're going to write those letters 1, 2, 3, and 4. So whatever letter they were for number 1, whatever letter they were for number 2, 3, and 4. On page 8, there's a little chart at the top. It's a can do or needs help. So they're going to go through each one of these, they're going to read them, and they're going to mark 1 of the 2 boxes. Either they can do it or they need more work on it. And then there's a lot of reading. And they're going to have to read through some of this, because once they get to page... Bear with me here just a second. They're definitely going to have to read the financial parts, which I believe starts on like page 19 or 20. Let me see here. Okay, so page starts on page 19. Because they're going to have to take, and they're going to have to do a budget. So they're going to have to pick an occupation. They're going to have to pick a salary amount. And then they're going to have to fill out all these questions making a budget. So they're probably going to need your help with this. So this might be something that you do on the board together with them. Okay, and then that will get you through to, whoops. And then that will get you through to the next section, which is your SMART goals. And this they'll have to do themselves as well. This also goes on tab 4, and it'll go right behind your career cruiser. So they'll read all of this, which is SMART goal setting, and then you'll see SMART, SMART, and it explains it to them. The very next page, they're going to have to start setting their own goals. So everything in yellow they have to complete. Read the sentence, check it off if it applies. Then it gets to the hard part. And it tells them exactly what to do. Okay? Tells them exactly what to do. The back is the same way, and then the last page is the same way. So it's a lot of work for them, but it's something they have to do as a new student. And that goes on tab 4. All of that goes on tab 4. Tab 5 you will leave blank because that is a Title I section. It is the Title I group's responsibility to put those forms in there, even though I've made copies for you. But don't worry about that. That is the Title I group's responsibility. The very last tab, you will put this in. The yellow part have the inmate fill in. The rest of it is either up to your aide once you get one or you to complete on a daily basis. And basically it's showing the date, what you did, so whether it was a group discussion, a classroom lecture, a worksheet, whatever it was, they completed it, if there was a score, and initialing it. Okay? And then their work that they did goes behind this. Make sure that the work that goes behind it has the core skill code from section 2, this, on the actual work itself. It has to be on there. Okay? And then that's it. So I'm going to flip through the folder just so you can see what it looks like. So here you got tab 1. Okay? That sheet with your most recent TABE score. Tab 2 has your core skills. Tab 3 has your expectations with those other 2 forms and the other 2 forms and the 2 forms that you already had them sign for us to get their records. Tab 5, these top 2 sheets you will not have to worry about. That is for us. But this is where you'll put your reemployment. And then there will be a core skill sheet. I don't think I made a copy for you, but I will make sure that happens. And then all your career cruiser information goes behind that. Tab 5, you do not worry about. As you can see, that is Title I only. So Title I will put this in there, and Title I will keep up with the work that goes in it. The final tab is that last sheet that I showed you. You fill it in with what they did. You put the work behind it. And I don't know if you can see Miss Rainey's little note right here, but she said to make sure that the core skill number is listed. So like if that work was under skill number CP.ABE.01, that's what you would put on that particular assignment. If you have any questions, email me. And I'm going to try to scan these forms in and send them to you so that you have them as well. Have a great day.